absolutely wonderful night here at the Rotunda. Thank you again to the Rotunda venue, to the folks who are working the sound and the lights back here, to DJ Dingo who's been spinning tunes all night over there. Thank you so much to all of you. And our acts tonight, Psychedelphia, who's coming up next. They are the Unsigned Band of the Month in High Times Magazine this month, January 2010. For those of you stocking up on your editions there, make sure to put a post-it note on the outside of that one, on the long shelf. I know a lot of you have a big, long shelf of High Times magazines. I know I do. Make sure to put a post-it note on January 2010 for Psychedelphia, the band you're about to see up here next. We're also really lucky, working on medical marijuana here in Pennsylvania. You know, a lot of people talk about the research on medical marijuana. What can we do to bring people to proof that marijuana is medicine? Why does marijuana work? Why does marijuana make us happy? Well, we have something in our body called cannabinoid receptors. THC, delta-9 tetrahydrocannabinol, the cannabinoid that we all know and love, is just one of 86 unique chemicals created by the cannabis plant. Many of these chemicals are actually created by our own bodies. They're called endocannabinoids. So why does all this work? Why does marijuana work for an MS patient? And why could THC help cure cancer? These are the questions that are being asked. These are the questions that are hopefully being answered with good scientific research. There aren't many people who get to research THC in this country. It's a very tough thing to do. But at Temple University, we're lucky to have a guy. His name is Jahan Marcu. He's here in Philadelphia. He's from California, and he's working on cannabinoid research. His research dealt with cannabinoids and brain cancer. There's breakthrough research. It's available online now. We have links to it at phillynormal.org. Jahan is on the medical advisory board of the medical marijuana group Americans for Safe Access, the group that is really forwarding medical marijuana in this country. We work hand in hand with ASA here at Philly Normal. We're lucky to have Jahan with us tonight. Jahan, come on up. This is Jahan. He is a cannabinoid researcher and a scientist here at Temple University. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the science and how this all works. Thank you, Jahan.
Thank you, Chris. All right, so first off, some of the big research now has been with the anti-cancer effects of cannabinoids. And some of the synthetic cannabinoids, endogenous cannabinoids, plant cannabinoids, they all have notable anti-cancer properties. So what we started off doing was taking brain cancer samples from patients, and we would grow these in petri dishes and then basically put cannabinoids on them and see how they killed them. And one thing we first noticed was that THC selectively kills brain cancer cells, which is interesting. So you put a side-by-side petri dish with healthy cells and cancer cells, and THC whopping doses would leave the healthy cells alone, and it would kill the cancer cells. You literally watch them explode over 48 hours. And so we thought this was pretty interesting, and so we started testing other plant compounds, and we found that, whoa, look, CBD, the second most abundant compound, has anti-cancer properties. Whoa, the degradation product of THC has anti-cancer properties. And so we started trying these in combination and sort of recreating the plant in the petri dish. And the big finding was that a 4-to-1 ratio of THC to CBD resulted in a synergistic killing effect in the brain cancer cells. And this is in a petri dish, and we're hoping to move it into animal models. And another thing that's pretty interesting too about the combination is that it led to a specific molecular pathway. So sometimes people are wondering, well, what's the difference between pure THC, what's the difference between THC and all these other cannabinoids, whole plant extracts? Well, they trigger different pathways. THC by itself, CBD by itself, even at really high doses, only trigger one pathway. But when you put them together, there's some sort of interaction that goes on that we're still trying to figure out that leads to downregulation of specific proteins. And anti-cancer effects aren't the only thing that cannabinoids are doing. There's a lot of interesting research out there right now. Probably the second coolest thing has been the neurogenesis. Regenerative medicine has been really, really hot right now. And there's a compound, my favorite compound, HU210, Hebrew University 210 is a code name. It's about 100 to 1,000 times more potent than THC. And they've actually started